You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Royal Government of Cambodia has implemented socialized healthcare through the Health Equity Fund system for individuals working in the informal tourism economy. The move is particularly beneficial to women working in bars, karaoke clubs, massage parlors, and spas, who will receive free healthcare in an industry where it is desperately needed. The program kicked off with a 2-day sign-up campaign at Wat Phnom on August 11th. Workers from 2 districts were able to register and receive their Health Equity Fund cards for immediate use at any public hospital, in addition to being provided with information on relevant health services. EAC News had the chance to speak with some of the recipients of the new health benefits, who were grateful for the government initiative. Nyubsre Toik was waiting for the registration interview and said that the program will ease her financial burden and give her more peace of mind in regards to her own health, as she'll now be able to get free medical checkups. Hun Shiva, a 28-year-old widow with 2 children who works in the entertainment industry, was happy to receive her equity card, which comes at a time when she is struggling to financially support her family. Not having to worry about the added cost of a medical checkup is a big relief. Secretary General of the National Council for Social Protection, John Narut, emphasized that unlike other healthcare programs, those eligible for free healthcare will not be charged a monthly fee, and that the Health Equity Fund is a national gesture of goodwill. Representing the Ministry of Planning at the event was Tang Panyatun, who said that the equity card is very important for individuals working in the informal entertainment economy, who will now be able to receive free health care, freeing up a larger portion of their earnings.
ចំណូលរបស់គាត់ប៉ុណ្ណឹងបើសិនជាយើងមិនបានផ្ដល់បានសមត្ថភាពនេះទៅដល់ពួកគាត់ដូចកន្លងមកអញ្ចឹងគឺគាត់ត្រូវចំណាយលុយច្រើនទៀតសម្រាប់ទៅការបើសិនជាគាត់មានបញ្ហាសុខភាពអីទៅពេទ្យអស់លុយច្រើនអញ្ចឹងឥឡូវពេលនេះគឺគាត់បានអាហ្នឹងគឺជួយសម្រួលមកចំណែកធំហើយថវិកាគាត់រកបានគឺគាត់អាចប្រើប្រាស់ទៅក្នុងផ្នែកផ្សេងៗទៀត
Din Molika will also be receiving an equity card and expressed excitement and gratitude to the royal government for taking care of its people, especially when it comes to the welfare of the poor. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. A deputy inspector from the Chamkarman District Police Department went to court yesterday after a video showed him punching a man unconscious while off duty. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
Spokesperson for the Phnom Penh Police, Colonel Sun Sok Siha, confirmed to EAC News that the officer was sent to court by authorities.
បាទតកតងទៅនឹងលោកអធិការរងនៃអធិការនគរបាលខណ្ឌចកាមនដែលបានប្រើប្រាស់អំពើហិង្សាតកតងករណីគ្រោះថ្នាក់ចរាចរណ៍ថ្ងៃមុនហ្នឹងគឺនៅរសៀលនេះគឺយើងនឹងបញ្ជូនអនុវត្តតទៅសាលាដំបងរាជធានីភ្នំពេញបាទអរគុណ
Late into the evening of August 14th, off-duty officer was caught on camera getting into an altercation with a car owner who had gotten into a minor accident when his Prius jumped a curb in front of a home. At one point, he punches the car owner in the side of the head with no warning, knocking the man unconscious. Penang Police Lieutenant General Sortek ordered the Chakamon Police to take legal action against the Deputy Inspector for using violence against a member of the public. He said the police officers are not to use violence against citizens who have violated traffic laws, but rather to be required to bring traffic offenders in for questionings, have them sign a contract or pay fines according to the law. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The 7-month report of tax revenue, presented by the General Department of Taxation, shows that the tax revenue from the real estate sector has shown signs of decline after a veritable boom of construction over the last decade. So far this year, the collection of property tax decreased by 6.77%, the tax on construction decreased by 2.44%, while duty on sales decreased by 26.56%. According to the General Department of Taxation, the decrease was due to risks posed by uncertainty and changes in the global economic context caused by a worldwide economic downturn and the Russia-Ukraine war, resulting in less large investments for Cambodia. The decline in real estate tax revenue reflected a larger trend of lower overall tax revenue, which declined for the first time in 10 years. From January to August, the government collected $2.3 billion in taxes, down more than 21% from the nearly $3.5 billion during the same period last year. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Royal Government of Cambodia has implemented socialized health care through the Health Equity Fund system for individuals working in the informal tourism economy. The move is particularly beneficial to women working in bars, karaoke clubs, massage parlors, and spas, who will receive free health care in an industry where it is desperately needed. The program kicked off with a 2-day sign-up campaign at Wat Phnom on August 11th. Workers from 2 districts were able to register and receive their Health Equity Fund cards for immediate use at any public hospital, in addition to being provided with information on relevant health services. EAC News had the chance to speak with some of the recipients of the new health benefits, who were grateful for the government initiative. Nyub Sre Toik was waiting for the registration interview and said that the program will ease her financial burden and give her more peace of mind in regards to her own health, as she'll now be able to get free medical checkups.
អាហ្នឹងល្អឲ្យជួយដល់ប្រជាជនបានច្រើនទាំងពេទ្យជួយបានទាំងអីចឹងមកចប់ចឹងបងខ្ញុំដល់អរគុណដល់រដ្ឋាភិបាលអាចជួយដល់ប្រជាជនយើងបានច្រើនបង
Hun Chiva, a 28-year-old widow with 2 children who works in the entertainment industry, was happy to receive her equity card, which comes at a time when she is struggling to financially support her family. Not having to worry about the added cost of a medical checkup is a big relief.
អបំផុតហ្មងអខ្លាំងណាស់អទី1បានហ្នឹងយើងស្រួលទៅពេទ្យវាសឹកអស់លុយច្រើនព្រោះចូលពេទ្យមិន 10,000 4 10 20,000ចូលបានទេសរាប់រយចាតែបើយើងមានបានហ្នឹងវាល្អហ្មងល្អខ្លាំងហើយវាជួយសិទ្ធិភាពយើងវាច្រើនទៀតដោយស្រីៗពួកខ្ញុំមេម៉ាយហ្នឹងគឺអត់លុយសម្រាប់ចូលពេទ្យហើយមើលគឺធ្វើការលុយវាតិចណាតែបងឡៃតាស់មកគ្រប់គ្រាន់ផងខ្ញុំ
Secretary General of the National Council for Social Protection, John Narut, emphasized that unlike other healthcare programs, those eligible for free healthcare will not be charged a monthly fee, and that the Health Equity Fund is a national gesture of goodwill.
តែសម្រាប់ក្រុមគោលដៅដែលបងដែលបម្រើការក្នុងវិស័យសេដ្ឋកិច្ចក្នុងសេវាកម្មទេសចរមនុស្សពេញវ័យនៃសេដ្ឋកិច្ចក្រៅប្រព័ន្ធនេះគឺគាត់មិនមានកាតព្វកិច្ចក្នុងការបង់ទេនេះគឺជារបបមួយដែលរបបថែទាំសុខភាពមួយដែលទ្រទ្រង់ដោយថវិកាជាតិទាំងស្រុងតែម្ដងក្នុងការផ្ដល់ផលប្រយោជន៍ជូនពលរដ្ឋ
Representing the Ministry of Planning at the event was Tang Thanyatun, who said that the equity card is very important for individuals working in the informal entertainment economy, who will now be able to receive free health care, freeing up a larger portion of their earnings.
ចំណូលរបស់គាត់ប៉ុណ្ណឹងបើសិនជាយើងមិនបានផ្ដល់បានសមត្ថភាពនេះទៅដល់ពួកគាត់ដូចកន្លងមកអញ្ចឹងគឺគាត់ត្រូវចំណាយលុយច្រើនទៀតសម្រាប់ទៅការបើសិនជាគាត់មានបញ្ហាសុខភាពអីទៅពេទ្យទេអស់លុយច្រើនអញ្ចឹងឥឡូវពេលនេះគឺគាត់បានអាហ្នឹងគឺជួយសម្រួលមកចំណែកធំហើយថវិកាគាត់រកបានគឺគាត់អាចប្រើប្រាស់ទៅក្នុងផ្នែកផ្សេងទៀត
Din Molika will also be receiving an equity card and expressed excitement and gratitude to the royal government for taking care of its people, especially when it comes to the welfare of the poor. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Preah Sihanouk Provincial Administration informed the public that it is strictly forbidden to fish and dock at places along the power line that runs along the ocean floor. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
The administration released an announcement yesterday instructing the public, especially the owners of all types of ships, boats, barges and ferries, to be aware Electricity of Cambodia has laid 22 kilovolt and 35 kilovolt power lines near the coastline of Pria Sihanouk and Koh Kong provinces. The underground cables run near about 10 islands, and the area was officially inaugurated on June 21, 2023. The notice said that in order to avoid any impact on the power line that could result in accidents, owners of water vessels passing through the islands are not allowed to anchor at the cable line location and must keep the distance of about 200 metres from it. The administration also prohibited fishing and docking in sites along the power lines and advised the public to check the boundaries clearly before doing so. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. A tuk-tuk driver was arrested in Kandal after threatening fellow motorists with a steel bar when they refused to move out of his way as he traveled down the wrong side of the road. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
A video of the incident from the morning of August 15th was posted on social media, showing the tuk-tuk driver yelling at the occupants of the car that was blocking him from the wrong side of Pria Norodom Boulevard in Tonle Basak commune. Although he was violating traffic laws, the tuk-tuk driver was indignant, raising his voice and pushing one of the car passengers before ultimately going to his vehicle and receiving a steel bar. He then threatened to hit the car and its owners before storming back to his tuk-tuk and driving away. Upon viewing the video, Phnom Penh Police Commissioner Sartet ordered the arrest of the man later that day. That night, the 47-year-old suspect was arrested in Kandal district of Kandal province. The district police are currently preparing their case to hand over to the Phnom Penh Municipal Police for further processing. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
Watching EAC News, thank you for joining us. The Ministry of Environment launched a new mobile app to better support and promote ecotourism destinations. The app is meant to make it easier for tourists to find specific information about ecotourism destinations and facilitate travel with key functions such as navigation maps, travel planning, and sharing information about natural beauty through photos and SMS. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
The Ecotourist Cambodia app, or Doreng Sruk Yung, was launched on Monday under the chairmanship of Minister of Environment Say Sam Al, along leaders with representative of the World Bank and development partners. The minister praised the tech team and thanked partner organisations for their active participation in creating the mobile app. He said the achievement was proof that the lives of Cambodians have turned from the trauma of the war to harmony and happiness, full of opportunities to travel with family and friends all over the country and relax in nature. He said, "These are the fruits of the peace we are achieving. The culture of peace is deeply rooted in the hearts of all Cambodians." He added that the new mobile app is part of the Totoro Tourism ecotourism development policy, which has gradually improved the lives of people in prospect areas through the income from tourism. The goal is also to strengthen community life, provide opportunities for the ecotourism development, and reduce the threat of the Cambodian natural resources. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Apsara Authority experts are in the process of repairing the temple building on the east side of Prayakan Temple and its bare. The project began at the start of 2023 and is expected to be completed by the year's end. Chia Sarit, an archaeologist and project manager at the Prayakan Temple site, said that the eastern portion of the Prayakan Temple currently is under repair and is a square that measures about 15 meters on each side and includes a bare, or an artificial body of water, which many believe was used for water storage and irrigation. Prior to the restoration, the team relied on old documents, archaeological excavations, photographs for reference on how to accurately repair the structure. He said that the crew is repairing according to traditional techniques, which entails an immense amount of manpower and no power tools or machinery. Built in the same phase as the nearby temples, the staircase is enclosed by a sandstone wall, decorated with carvings of swans and the serpent god Naga. The eastern bare of the Prayakan Temple is extremely dilapidated after time, neglect, and the removal of much of its sandstone to be used elsewhere. Archaeologists have found that the use of ancient stones was abundant after the Angkorian period, and the removal from the terrace caused the wall to completely collapse due to water leakage. The team has found evidence that the bare was used after the Angkorian period for water storage as well. Chia Sarut hopes that the restoration will serve to show the role and connection between Preakan Temple, the North Bare, and the Nikpoan Temple while preserving the site in a way that shows its historical layers from construction to the modern day. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Future Prime Minister Hun Manet said he looks forward to meeting Lethwei boxer Dave Leduc when he visits Cambodia later this year for his final match. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
Six-time Lethwei world champion Dave Leduc announced he would be retiring from fighting 3 days ago on social media, and this was his final match would be in Kun Khmer style at the invitation of Cambodia. On Monday, Leduc posted on his social media congratulating Dr. Hun Manet as the new Prime Minister of Cambodia. Leduc said that he would, although he is Canadian, known as the Burmese Lethwei champion, he would respect Cambodia by fighting his native Kun Khmer style. Dr. Hun Manet thanked Leduc for loving Cambodia and looks forward to meeting him. Leduc also mentioned his intention to meet with the Prime Minister Hun Manet during his visit. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. A high school in Kratie province has been temporarily closed while the Cambodian Mine Action Center, or CMAC, works on removing over 2,000 grenades, ammunition, and other unexploded ordnance, presumably left over from the Khmer Rouge era. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
Karachi's Department of Education Director Leigh Border confirmed to EAC News that Queen Kozamak High School will be closed until further notice while the CMAC determines the size of scope of weapons cache it works on demining the area. He said the school was undergoing renovations when workers found ammunition buried not far below the ground on August 11th. The school then called in the CMAC team, who found over 2,000 unexploded ordnance buried 3 or 4 metres underground. According to the education director, the unexploded ordnance consisted of M79 grenades, DK75 and fused M48 shells, and B40 rocket launcher ordnance. He said that the munitions may have been left over from the Khmer Rouge era and that the site could have been a storage house for weapons and ammunition. He stressed that it would take time to check the area and that the school would have to be closed until the grounds have been completely surveyed. He said the students can continue to study online or organise home studies with their teachers while the dangerous situation is resolved. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Authorities in Battambang's Ratanak Mondul district have concluded an investigation into toxic black water that leaked into the Sangkai River earlier this month. According to the Ministry of Environment, Phoenix Industrial Company Limited is being fined over $468,000 for dumping untreated waste into the water, killing wildlife, and polluting a source of fresh water for the local people. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
On August 2, social media users posted photos and videos of dead fish floating in the Sangkai River, which had been floating with black toxic wastewater. According to locals, this has been repeated occurrence over the last few years, and initial reports were that it had come from a Hong Kong-based factory upstream. The Ministry of Environment sent a notice to Phoenix Industrial Company Limited on August 10th, breaking down the fines which must be paid by October 20th, 2023. The company is to pay $93,560 in direct environmental impact compensation, along with $375,000 to the Committee Environmental and Social Fund. The ministry is also demanding that the company relocate its factory at least 10 kilometres away from the Sangkai River and is responsible for rehabilitating their environmental in and around the factory site before November 20, 2023. If the company does not comply with the ministry's request, it will be fined a combined 150 million reals, or about 36,000, for its continued environmental crimes and non-compliance. The ministry will be sending inspectors to see the requests are honoured, and if no process is made, the additional fines will be due by September 20th and include separate offences for causing international leakage of untreated waste, non-compliance, failed to remove waste from the river and operating with the approval of environmental and social impact assessment report. The ministry also said it is ready to pursue legal action if the company does not comply. According to the Ministry of Industry, Science, Technology and Innovation, this is the third time the company has been cited for dumping pollutants into the Sankei River and is threatening areas and biodiversity. The river is approximately 250 kilometres long and drains into Tonle Sap Lake near Cambodia's treasured Angkor Wat site. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Before leaving office next week, Prime Minister Hun Sen invited journalists to dine at the Peace Palace